Hello and welcome back to Football Manager 2021 with Southampton in the beta. It's the second episode of the day and it is our first foray into European action, at least on camera at the very least. We've played a bit of football in between episodes as well. We've done all right. We do still love to concede a late goal. So we started off in some European action, a 4-0 victory against Dynamo Kiev, which I think was a bit better than I was expecting. I was hoping to win, but not by as much as we did. Salisu, Giannapo, Ward-Prowse from the penalty spot, and Dan Unlandulu as well coming off the bench to score a goal for us. Then, against Norwich, we lose 4-3. Adams, Ward-Prowse and Redmond with the goals for us. They scored in the 86th minute to score the winner. They scored their equaliser in the 85th minute. We concede late goals like we just stopped playing after 80 minutes. We just give up. We then played Derby in the Carabao Cup. We're certainly not retaining that because we were junk. We were absolutely garbage. We lost 1-0. We deserved to lose probably about 3 or 4-0. We were that bad. And then we've just played Aston Villa as well. This time we beat them 2-1. St Maximin and Kyle Walker-Peters with the goals for us. Again though, they did score I think in the 90th minute, something stupid like that. So we're still conceding very late goals all the time. Obviously, the defeat against Norwich was our first defeat of the season, but because we've obviously still won some games, we're doing all right. 8th place in the table, 3 wins, 3 draws, 1 defeat to our name, 12 points on the board. I think we're looking at another season where we're probably going to finish in and around the same area, which I'm perfectly fine with. Something that I've been completely ignoring, and it's been going on actually since the end of last season, since about April, May time last year, is we are in the process of a board takeover. It keeps kind of happening, it keeps starting and then stopping, but I think this one might stick. So on the 23rd of September, I got this message basically saying that we are under a transfer embargo because of a takeover from the chairman. I don't understand why it says. The chairman says the board have placed an embargo upon transfers as a result of the rumours regarding a possible takeover. You should know if they're rumours or not, mate. They must be talking to you. That's how a takeover would work. And then we got this bit of news as well, talking about a consortium backed by Mitar Lazic and Ross Corbett, and a different group fronted by Dave Skinner, apparently. I don't know whether either of those are real people, or either, there's 3, any of those real people. However, Dave Skinner says if they took over, they'd appoint Roberto Mancini. So I want Mitar Lazic and Ross Corbett, please, because I don't want to get sacked. That would be just my luck, wouldn't it? Playing my first beta save in about 4 years where I don't get sacked because of poor performances, but I get sacked because of a takeover. This is somewhat unexpected. In the England side, you can't quite see it because the colours aren't great. We've got Ben Chilwell, which is perfectly fine. And then we've also got Fraser Forster. Fraser Forster has been called up to the England squad for the first time in absolute years. And the funny thing is, he's not really playing for us. That's where he is. He's played 2. He's still not kept a clean sheet for us. He did play the Europa League game though. Whilst we're talking about Ben Chilwell, he's rubbish. He's really rubbish. I mean, he's had... that's I don't want his form for England. I want his form for Southampton. There we go. So, yeah, since the Everton game, he played really well against Dynamo Kiev. Norwich, he was just awful. Derby, he was awful. So much so I subbed him. I couldn't sub him against Norwich because we ran out of subs, basically. And then Aston Villa as well. He was... that's not bad, is it? That's not awful, but he's not good. He's not consistent. This is my worry with Ben Chilwell. Hopefully he can kind of prove me wrong because Bertrand is still out injured. Just before we play the Fiorentina game, I did just get a bit of news saying that Ryan Bertrand can play 75 minutes. So maybe Chilwell's not going to play in this game, although I feel like I probably shouldn't play Bertrand. Anyway, it is time for our second Europa League game. We're at home for our second match in a row as well, which is a bit strange. Fiorentina of Italy are our opponents. They are currently top of their group. Despite the fact that we won 4-0, they won 5-0. So this is probably the 2 biggest teams and best teams in the group. It's going to be tough. They've also got Franck Ribery. He is 38. And is probably going to score a goal. If he plays 90 minutes, he's probably going to score a goal. They seem to also, looking at this graphic here, which you can't quite see because I'm in front of it. They seem to play him as a deep-lying forward next to Pedro, which is a bit strange for me. So starting lineup-wise then for the Fiorentina game, it will be Forster in goal. I've basically decided he's probably going to be my Europa League goalkeeper. It's going to be Walker-Peters, Bednarek, Salisu and Chilwell as our back 4. We do have Badiashile, who I do want to play. Actually, that's what we're going to do. We're going to have to drop Bednarek and we're going to play Badiashile because Benoit Badiashile is quite obviously one for the future. It's going to be Matty Kamara and Ward-Prowse in the middle of the pitch. Those two are starting to become somewhat of a regular feature since Kamara's signing in January last year. Moussa Djanapo will be on the right-hand side with Redmond on the left with Adams and Ings as our strikers. Our subs bench, I think, is very strong. With Schlager, Bunasar, Bednarek, Gravenberch, St. Maximin, Walcott and Michael Obafemi on that subs bench. That's a good subs bench. Danny Ings, by the way, hasn't played much football recently because he's been out injured. So I'm hoping he does alright. I hope he doesn't get injured again. So I've just seen Fiorentina on the subs bench have a Southampton legend. He's not a legend. He's a Southampton favourite in Maya Yoshida. He's on the bench, which he's obviously, I think real life he's still at Sampdoria. He went on loan last season, signed permanently now. He's quite obviously moved to Fiorentina in this save, which is quite interesting. The fact that he's still playing for big clubs, although he is on the bench. 15 minutes and Chilwell goes for a throw. Does find one of our players, which is a bit of a surprise. Redmond across to Carl Walker-Peters. He's going to come forward with the ball. Moussa Djanapo in on goal. It's a good save from Dragowski. We do win ourselves a corner. I have tweaked our fullback roles slightly. They're now playing as fullbacks on defend, I think, possibly support, because I think that's a lot of our conceding of goals comes from our fullbacks just getting too far forward. Redmond now with the ball on the left-hand side. Can he get his cross away? He does, but it's not the best cross. Is it coming back? Chilwell finds Redmond, tries to cross it in again, can't manage it, and now Fiorentina can clear the ball. Oh, I forgot to mention as well, against Norwich, I threw the water bottle. I threw the water bottle against Norwich, and the team weren't happy, despite the fact that we did lose the game in the last 5 minutes. They weren't happy that I threw a water bottle at them, which I thought was justified. Not really a lot going on so far in this game, is there? We are 5 minutes away from half-time. We've had 4 shots. They've had 5. But arguably our chances have probably been better according to the XG. It's going to be 0-0 at half-time with a total of about 2 highlights. Fair enough. Right, dressing room-wise. I mean, we should be seeing these chances. In my opinion, surely if we're having a very high possibility of scoring, we should see this chance here. We should probably see those two because they're within quick succession as well. I don't know. Is that just me? Is that just me thinking that? Right, let's thrash arms. Point finger. Point finger. I'm not happy. People should be motivated. Ward-Prowse is always demotivated at the moment. That is a concern because if he's constantly demotivated, he might end up leaving or getting a bit annoyed because I keep shouting at him. Igor with the ball for Fiorentina. We're literally a minute into the second half. They're coming forward down that left-hand side. Franck Ribery controls it, plays it back to Eric Pulgar. Pulgar's going to run into the middle. Number 78. I love a good high squad number. Ribery to Pedro. Slots it in underneath Fraser Forster. It's 1-0 to Fiorentina. 1 minute and 15 seconds on the clock into the second half. Not a good start. Well, this match is just junk, isn't it? We're going to bring on St. Maximin for Redmond because Redmond's done nothing. What a surprise Chilwell's not doing anything. So we're going to do that. Stick Bunasar on as a right back. Walker-Peters can come on as a left back. Danny Ings as well is going to get dropped for Michael Obafemi. That is all we can do. That is absolutely everything. We've thrown all the dice. We are still... Have we done the subs? I think we've done the subs actually. Even though that was the same highlight. It looks like the subs have come on. Moussa Djanapo has the ball for us. Back to Kamara. Walker-Peters as a right back still. So maybe we haven't done the subs. Even though it says we have down the bottom. Adams across, finds Redmond at the back post. Not the best effort from Redmond. Straight into the hands of Dragowski. Now we have our subs. Let's give them a focus. Is that a thing to do? I've shouted focus at them. I mean, people seem to react. I don't know if they reacted well, but they seem to react. Final few minutes of the game. We're going to have to try something. Go positive. We're at home. We're at home and we're just playing junk. Like, strikers not doing anything. Ward-Prowse and Kamara are the only two players really tickling the 7.0 rating. No highlights whatsoever for the majority of this game either. So, yeah, it's going to be a 1-0 defeat then in the Europa League against Fiorentina. I think we need to try and aim to finish second in the group. That's probably what we're going to go for. I mean, we probably were the better side. Judging by this, we were the better side, but no one performed. Nobody performed at all. I'm not happy with the performance. Let's thrash arms aggressively. Why can't I be aggressive and say I'm not happy? Of all things, that makes most sense. Hands on hips. Hands on hips, I'm not happy. People seem motivated. Good. Sofyan Amrabat had a great game for Fiorentina. Did he? I didn't know. To be fair, I didn't notice anything. Technology played a significant part in your failure to win. Did it? I've never been a fan. That's fine. So we've lost. We've lost 1-0. Slavia Prague beating Dynamo Kiev. which moves them joint on points with us. But because obviously our superior goal difference after our 4-0 victory against Dynamo Kiev, we're still quite clearly in second place. Goalless Obafemi worries Southampton. Of all players, Michael, I mean, we're going to criticise him. You need to, I know you haven't scored many goals. I've got faith. Rather than shouting at him, just say you've got faith. Right, Ben Chilwell. Ben Chilwell. Your recent form, is it bad enough that I can shout at you? I mean, the game against Dynamo Kiev is like a bit of an outlier, but we're going to do it. We're going to shout at you. We're going to give you a warning. Recent form. We're going to say point finger. No. Beckon with arms. Greeting that demands a player's attention. No, put arm around. Look, I don't want to be harsh. I'm just going to put my arm around you, give you a little cuddle, and then say you've been declining. Okay? I agree. He's very happy. That's good. Is there anyone else who's been playing badly? So I've sorted by the last 5 games. Obafemi hasn't been playing well. So Ings, but he's not been fit. I mean, there's not really. I didn't want to do that. There's not really too many poor performers. Decent performers though. James Ward-Prowse and Mady Kamara. Mady Kamara is consistent, to say the least. He is absolutely consistent across the board. 7.0, 7.7, 7.3, 7.8, 7.3. He gets above a 7 most of the time. The last time he didn't was actually in pre-season. Right, let's take a look at some of this analysis then, to see if we can kind of work out what we're doing well and what we're doing badly and stuff like that. So, we're good when it comes to shooting. We score goals. That is quite clear. We definitely score goals. When it comes to conceding, this is our problem. Our expected against is 1? Is that 1 or is that like 4? I don't know. I assume that's a big number because it's a small shape. Same with the conceded. We're expected to concede a lot of goals per game. If we go analysis report, conceding, here we go. So we are busy and impenetrable. Are we impenetrable? We've conceded 7 in our last 5 games. So what it says here, conceding 25 of the 61 assists conceded in the last 50 matches have come from outside the area, and the same amount have come from through balls. So we are conceding lots of through balls from outside the area. That's what I'm reading there, because it's exactly the same number. How do we stop that? How do we stop man marking? Man marking might help? Or would that help? I don't know. I don't quite understand how to stop ourselves here. So this is our shot map. Goals in domestic leagues. Domestic cup matches. All matches. So is this what we've done? Or have we scored 7? I think this is how many goals we've scored, isn't it? And then assists. Or is it? Hold on. No, that's what we've conceded. So most of our goals, we've let in 3 from just outside the area. Most of them are from in the middle of the penalty spot. So a lot of our goals, like I said, they're through balls. We need to work out how to stop through balls by the looks of it. And apparently 6 goals have been scored by left wingers. 6 goals from left wingers. How are they scoring so many goals against us? Okay, that is just strange. So in our last 50 matches, 15 goals have been scored from left midfield, 0 from right midfield. That is a surreal number from that one position. Right, well, I'm going to have a play around and see if I can try and work out a way to maybe stop things like that happening. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to play around, have a look at some of the tactical stuff. What I'll do, actually, is I'll show you. This is the tactic. I mean, you've probably seen it multiple times now anyway. If there's anything here that you're thinking, that's your problem, then please point it out. I feel like it's something in defence. I feel like maybe we're a bit too stretched. Maybe we go for that. I mean, that's probably not going to help anyway. Do we stay on feet? And I don't know. I'm going to play around. I'm going to try some more things. We're going to play a few more matches in between episodes. We're going to come back possibly for the Fulham game. I was going to do Man United, but I suspect we're going to lose that and I'm going to get annoyed and angry. I think we could probably beat Fulham. So we're going to play Wolves, Slavia Prague and Manchester United off camera and return for the Fulham game on the 27th of October. And that will be tomorrow. Thank you very much for watching this episode of Football Manager 2021 with Southampton. If you did enjoy, do please remember to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, ding the bell as well so you get notified whenever new videos come out. I'll be back tomorrow with the Fulham game in the first episode. I don't know about the second episode. Maybe Dynamo Kiev. Maybe that's what we're going to do. I will see you tomorrow for more Football Manager.